Let's turn this mess into something more respectable. Already. Well, I woke up feeling a lot better than I felt last night. I didn't really manage to eat anything. I still haven't eaten yet today, but I have had my coffee and I have a snack pocket full of food, and my goal is to eat through it. I don't know if you've noticed or if you even care, but that whole lunch thing failed within the first few days. I think I did it like twice. It's not my thing. Lunch is not my thing. I was for a while doing like protein powder and coffee in the middle of the day, but then one day I had that and it just made me feel really ill. So I haven't had it since. What do you know? Ooh. Basically, I'm a snack all day kind of person. And that's okay. If that's how I get my calories in during the day, then that's how I do it. So I have to eat today, all day. Ooh, farm road. Catch up later. I just want to reiterate that when I say eating as much as I can is not the same as it is for normal people. What I mean is eating as much as I can within the constraints of type 1 diabetes and still keeping my blood sugar fairly level, which in itself is a difficult, very fine-tuned process. Monitoring insulin, the right amount of insulin, timing of it. So it's kind of twofold. It'd be great if I could just eat all willy-nilly, but that's not how life with type 1 diabetes works. I just passed a big group of Mennonite kids, and they smelled like BO. Suddenly I don't feel so alone. Am I a Mennonite? That's kind of odd trash to find on the trail. Someone has an itchy cooter. I know I said that yesterday, but that's not why it's itchy. There has been a fuck ton of road today. Rant coming. I have walked past two extremely large groups of Mennonite, mostly teenagers and kids. I mean big. Probably My guess is 50 of them, both when I went through the Forks of the Credit and now just going through the Badlands. And the Badlands trails are quite narrow. And they're like, they don't come all in one. They just like group of 5, a group of 10, a group of 5, like. And something I've noticed about them, and maybe I'm being a bitch here, but hey, this is my video. They're not nice people. They're probably nice to each other, but they don't say hi. They don't say hi back when you say hi. They don't at all try to move to the side to allow you to pass. I had to keep stepping off onto the trail and standing in the bushes as they came by in droves and droves. They're kind of rude. Yeah, there was a couple times that I said hello and they're just like, and they just stare at me. I get it, okay? Like, I am definitely not a Mennonite. I do not look like a Mennonite. I am clearly the farthest thing from their culture. But if you're going to integrate your culture into a society where you're going to run into other people kind of like me, aka normal people, members of society, I just happen to have tattoos and dreadlocks and jewelry in my nose, I don't know, you gotta put in a bit of an effort to just be normal. That was a horrible experience. I just wanted to get out of there and I basically rushed through there as fast as I can. Oh well. Mennonites are rude. Lo and behold, more road. And where I came out at the Badlands is where the Caledon section ends. Going up a hill. So I am now in the Toronto section. How tired do I look? I don't feel that tired. Good morning. This is where I camped. And I didn't do any kind of video ender yesterday because I just didn't fucking feel like it. I'm in an area where it's really hard to find a decent spot to camp at. And I was searching around for maybe like an hour. It was a long time. The trail continues and it crosses over Winston Churchill, which is a surprisingly busy road this far north. And it's just rocky and hilly. So I actually backtracked a little while because I passed this area which was half decent. I just thought, well, I'll keep going because I've got more miles or kilometers in my legs. But I started to panic. It was getting a little bit late, so I just backtracked, which is probably the hardest thing to do as a thru hiker. You don't want to go backwards. You always want to keep going forwards. But it was a very quiet night. It was very windy and it's quite chilly right now, which is perfectly fine because it's keeping the bugs away. Fuck, as soon as I say that. It's keeping the bugs away for the most part, and it means that the high today is probably going to be tolerable and I won't be drenched in sweat for a change. But it's time to get going. It's a little bit late. I totally lollygagged this morning, still lollygagging, because I'm staying at a motel. I'll talk about that later. I'm a little like annoyed, but not annoyed, but annoyed, but not annoyed. Yeah, and it's only like, I only have like 15, maybe 18, something like that. Like, it's a super short day and I gotta drag that out because I can't be arriving there at noon. So let's back up. Can we talk about the slugs for a second? They are the fucking bane of my existence. They're disgusting, they're slimy, they're sticky, and if you squish them, they turn into this like yellow piss mess. I don't know what it is. Every fucking day. Sorry, I'm looking for a stick. Every fucking day I gotta deal with these goddamn slugs, and they stick to everything, and then you start rolling it up, and then you find another slug and another slug and another slug. Every fucking day. So a couple of weeks ago, there was like a massive storm of like tornadoes that went through. I was far enough north at the time that I avoided it, but this whole section, there's a huge amount of blowdowns across the trail, and they're all live trees. I guess they haven't had a chance to come through and clear the section yet, but it's insane how much damage. Oh, on my knees. Oh. Oh boy, that hurt. Yeah, there's a lot of damage. I couldn't imagine camping in this. And for what it's worth, I didn't really know that this storm was happening. I found out the next day whenever I passed someone on the trail. They're like, "Where were you when this happened?" I don't know, I was just hiking and camping. It apparently happened just south of where I was. It's sad and unfortunate that all of this damage has happened. My brain tends to spin a mile a minute in the mornings when I'm hiking. I don't know, it's just so much is happening up inside my little pea head. I'm very much happy that things are going better this time. And the closer I get to home, the more real it becomes of the challenge that I took on. That's a huge down tree. And here's the thing about malnutrition. And no, I didn't have somebody point at me and say, "That's exactly what was happening to you." I just knew that's what was happening to me. It's kind of like, it's starvation. When your calorie output is so extremely higher than your calorie input, you're gonna fall apart. And the thing is, I really didn't know it was happening until I got home. And the reality of it was I couldn't fix it out there. It wasn't going to be the next day where I started eating and I was able to recover and keep hiking. When I got home last time, it took me about 2 to 3 weeks before I could stomach normal food and eat normal food. Most of what I was subsiding on at the time was I just want to make sure I'm not missing the Bruce Trail. I guess not. The only thing that my stomach was tolerating for the most part was potatoes. And for days and days, all I ate was potatoes. And I kept trying to eat little bits of other things, and it just kind of scared me a little bit that it took me 2 or 3 weeks to kind of get my stomach back online. Almost like a refeeding situation. I was so far gone I can't believe that I was continuing to hike, but at the same time I can, because I remember it was so hard. Physically, it was hard. Every little hill was hard. My legs didn't feel stronger after weeks of doing this. And everything is different this time. I've had a few bumps in the road where I really wondered if it was going to take me out, or it is taking a lot of effort to make sure that I eat constantly and still try and maintain my blood sugar levels. But my legs feel much different this time. They feel very strong. And I don't know, these thoughts are just rolling around inside my head today about the difference between this time and last time, and what I was really dealing with as far as being in a calorie deficit / malnutrition standpoint goes. Don't do that, folks. I also recognized where I popped on there after Terracotta. I hiked this whole section with Lisa last year, and we hiked, I don't even remember where we started. We hiked the whole section I'm doing today. We did Limehouse and we ended in Speyside. So apparently I've done this section. My memory is crap. Ladies and gentlemen, today's your day if you're looking for a single older man. Silver fox status. And I'm not saying I'm a young chicken, but I've passed nothing but single, older, kind of a little bit older than me category. Yeah, tons. Just everybody I'm passing is a single dude. And who knows if they have wives at home or husbands. I don't judge. Have to be all inclusive. But today is the day. Come on out and get yourself some. There's tons for the picking. Here's my update. Not that there's much to update. I'm here in the Cedar Springs Motel on Highway 7. It's a shitty hotel. What do you expect? There's nothing near it within normal people walking distance. I didn't really want to stay here. I didn't feel like I needed to stay here, but I thought might as well get a shower, charge everything up again. I am 2 days from my parents' house, 2 very long days. Not even going to talk about it. But that's my goal, is to try and see if I can get to my parents' place in 2 days. So might as well enjoy the bed, a very uncomfortable bed. I got here at like noon. I had maybe, I think, 17 kilometers to hike from where I slept last night, and I tried to hike slow. I really did. It kind of reminded me of meditation, where I would think, okay, just chill out and walk slow, and then I'd start walking slow, and then sure enough, as soon as my mind started to wander, I just picked up with my regular pace. I'm not like a super fast hiker, especially not on uphills. Uphills, I'm a snail, but I can't help it. My natural pace is quick. It's just what I'm comfortable with and how I enjoy hiking. So I tried to hike slow. I couldn't. I got here at noon. And I sat here and I'm like twiddling my thumbs. Sure, I can watch TV, but TV's kind of boring. There's only so much I can do on my phone. What else can I do? And because where this motel is located, I think it's about 4 kilometers in one direction, and you might hit a Tim Hortons and then some other stuff. And about 4.5, 5-ish kilometers in the other direction, there's actually stores. So naturally, that's what I did. My body is used to walking all day, so to sit here and feel like I'm just, I was going a bit stir crazy. I thought, well, pass the time with a walk. Would have been way better if I could listen to something, but I don't have any earphones because I threw them out because my stupid adapter doesn't work. I did go into Dollarama, and I was like, please let them have adapters. Why do no stores sell adapters? I need that question answered, because there's still tons and tons of earphones for sale with the regular earphone jack, but no adapters. And with all the phones these days not having earphone jacks, you'd think that adapters would be everywhere. They're not. So far, I think you can only really buy them online. I know that Ryan just ordered 4 more from Amazon because they don't work for very long. What else did I do? Well, I went to the cannabis shop because, like I said, there's a cannabis shop on every fucking corner. There's more than there are Tim Hortons. I bought a new vape pen cartridge because mine is clogged and leaking. And it wasn't even something I was thinking about. I was just walking over and I looked up and I'm like, oh, wouldn't you know it, a dispensary. And then I went to the grocery store. I went to Sobeys and I bought some gluten-free bagels. It's a little big and a little heavy, but I'm going to eat one tonight with an avocado that I bought. And then I'm probably going to eat the other 4 over the next couple days. I don't need any food. I actually have too much food for only 2 days of hiking. I have a lot of food. But at the same time, I'm not about to throw it out or dump it. And it wasn't enough to make me not buy these bagels because I haven't had normal food in a really long time. What else is there to say? Nothing, really. I think I'm ready to finally have a shower and put my feet up, and perhaps that walk to the store and back was over 10K of extra mileage. But it's without a 35 pound pack, so the only mistake I made is maybe I should have put my socks on when I hiked over there, walked over there. I just walked over there in bare feet with my shoes because my socks are sitting on the windowsill drying because I washed them. I thought, fuck it. I got some like couple blisters starting from doing that. Don't do that. Don't walk that far in bare feet and shoes. That's all I got. Ain't nothing like a fresh cartridge on your vape pen. I'm not a pothead, I swear. It just really helps my anxiety and helps me sleep. Well, here we are, back on trail. Had a decent night in the shitty motel. It was kind of noisy. Walls are thin. I could hear people outside at about 1 in the morning. But otherwise, you know, I slept as good as I can in a crappy motel. So I am attempting to pull off 2 very long days in a row. Pardon me. And my pack is pretty light because I've eaten through a lot of the food that I had. Holy crap. Come with me on a journey through the trees. Speaking of, I need a new stuff sack for my tent. It's got holes and tears in it from shit like that. What was I saying? Planning to pull off 2 very long days. Today's weather's supposed to be like yesterday, so it's supposed to be fucking gorgeous. It is calling for rain overnight, but we all know how trustworthy meteorologists are. That is to say, who knows if it's gonna rain at all. It might rain in the middle of the day. It might rain all day tomorrow and thwart my plans if I can't cover the distance that I want to cover. I'm stoked though. I feel like I'm in the final stretch and I'm literally in the last week of completing this. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about that. Come with me. Okay, I'll bring you out later. I forgot to talk about something I've been meaning to mention for a while. Probably since day one. The weight of my pack, base weight is, I think, about 16 pounds. And when I weighed it at home before I left, and that was with a little over 2 liters of water and a full 7-day worth of food, it was 31 pounds. Whew. And I think it's safe to say that most of the time I'm probably carrying around 30 pounds because I'm always carrying, fuck that hill, I'm always carrying a lot of food. That doesn't work. Yeah, I'm usually carrying quite a bit of food because the stops in between are long, on top of the fact that I have a lot of specialized food that I can't get anywhere. I know you've heard me talk about my gluten-free oatmeal. Just some other specialized stuff that I can't get anywhere and that I kind of rely on. So I carry a lot of it. And on days where I've got a full capacity of food, plus I've loaded up all my water for dry camping, the pack is definitely pushing 40 pounds. but typically it's between 30 and 35. If you want to know how to get somewhere quickly, this is how. I don't know if you could tell, but this is how fast you have to move, because I have a cloud of mosquitoes around me. A cloud. It's Sunday morning on a nice day, which means places like this, Limehouse, are going to be very busy. But it's also like 8 o'clock in the morning. This is my favorite part of the day, especially when I'm walking through areas like this, because I get it all to myself. When I walked through the Badlands the other day, man, it was so stinking busy, and I didn't like it at all. Maybe I'll go check that out. I have had an earworm to end all earworms. I've had a song stuck in my head for weeks, and I mean it, weeks. I have woken up in the middle of the night in my tent, and it's in my head. Every time there's a bit of silence for a few moments, which is always, it's in my head. And I'm not about to sing it, or even tell you what it is. It's some like pop song. And the reason for that is because I do not sing. So here is your random ass fact about me. I don't sing. The only time I sing is in my car when nobody's around, maybe to the radio. I can't sing to save my life, and I will, and I'm super embarrassed and self-conscious about it, so I will never sing in front of another human being, and I never have. Maybe even as a kid, but like, don't we all? I once had my best friend, Steve, he threatened to hide a tape recorder in my car to catch me singing. And for the entire duration of time that I drove that car from then on, I refused to sing because I was terrified that he actually had done it. Oh, that's a weird one, but oh well. Point is, this song is fucking killing me. I need it gone. And I'll put like an audiobook on, or I'll put some music on my phone just to force myself to not have to go over this 10-second verse over and over again. And as soon as that turns off, it's right there again. I've never had a song stuck in my head for this long. Like, seriously, it's been weeks. Okay, bugs. And this is called The Hole in the Wall. You can see how popular this place is. Look at all the ropes. The velvet rope. It's really quite sad how disgusting you get so quickly. I had a shower last night And now I'm already covered in sunscreen, bug spray, sweat, and dirty clothes. I want to see if I can capture how bad the bugs are when I stop, so here we go. Can you see that? I have bug spray. The Benz 30, because the 100% DEET that you used to be able to get got banned in Canada. Why? I don't fucking know. Bug spray does not work. It works as soon as you put it on for about 5 minutes. So you're better to just run rather than be covered in fucking chemicals. It is insane. They don't care. They don't care that you've got bug spray on. Show me a bug spray that works. God damn it. Bugs are still really bad, so I'm not stopping very much to use the camera. But I did just pass a group of maybe 15 people. It was a huge group. And I noticed they all had jackets on, which I find it too hot for a jacket. They had big, clunky hiking boots and full, like, winter gaiters. Like the gaiters that go up to your knees. Every single one of them. And I thought, that's really weird and unnecessary, in my opinion. I don't know if I can express literally how fucking violently angry I am right now. My glucose meter has been giving me errors for like 3 hours. I have restarted, blah blah blah, done a million things, just keep doing it. Error, 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 error. So I have to keep pulling out my glucose meter and manually testing. Fucking pissed off. I pay a lot of money for these things. They're about 120 bucks for 14 days. And this thing has been shitting the bed for the past, on and off for the past 2 days. So what do? Do I rip this off and put a new one in? I think I'm gonna do it anyway. I have a couple days left on it. I don't know, maybe I'll see if I can push this one, but I rely on this thing. Ugh, I need it to fucking work. This is such a pain in the ass. I had to walk a little bit to wrap my head around the fact that I just ran into my good friends Janie and Steve. Hi! I took a photo. I'll put it in. I've known these two for a long time. I don't even remember where the connection was. I think originally met Janie and Steve when I was rock climbing like decades ago. And we've kind of come in and out of contact over the years. Janie and I raced road bikes together. And I always remembered Janie was the one with the ladybug helmet cover warmer thingy. And Janie kicked ass. She won races, and I flailed and failed all of my races. And we've been in touch ever since, through the community, through the outdoor industry, whether it was rock climbing or working at race expos for when I was working with Noon. Janie does a lot of amazing artwork that is centered around cycling and climbing. So she often sells her her goods at these places. That was a real pick-me-up. Right before I ran into them, I was like, oh fuck man, like my feet are really starting to hurt with these rocks. And I'm getting a little headachy from all the mental straining on the eyes so that I don't trip and fall and eat shit. So that was awesome. And it's also a reminder of, you know, you're getting close to home when they live in the same city as we do, and they're out to go do a little bit of hiking and stuff. Oop, that's what I mean. My poor toes. So that put me in a really good mood. It's so nice to see familiar faces when I spend every single day and night stuck in my own little world, and the only thing I really get is social media or the occasional phone call with Ryan. I am home. I am almost home. And although I may almost be home, I still have to keep going after I get home, because home is not the terminus. Home is Hamilton, aka hashtag Hamilton is home. The terminus is Niagara, so it's not over when I get home. I still have like 3 days after that. 4 days maybe, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the distance yet. Well, Heidi-ho, a sign! And it is so important to me because the Iroquois section is my home section. And of all the places, there's a sign for home. I'm at Kelso Conservation, and I'm feeling a little overwhelmed because it's a Sunday and there's just so many people around. And I really just want to sit here and make coffee. I have approximately 10K to go before I get to my intended campsite. If you can hear that, that's a train. I do have to climb up the ski hill, go around Kelso, and then over to Rattlesnake, and then down. I just want coffee right now. I don't think I'm allowed to like do any cooking right here, but I'm going to stealth boil water, stealth coffee. I'm really not thrilled about climbing to the top of Glen Eden at this time of the day, but You have to do what you have to do. I just talked to Ryan on the phone for quite a while. It's nice to be back in cell service range locally. There's rain coming in like a little more than an hour, and it's supposed to rain all night, so looks like I will be setting up in the rain because there's no way I'm gonna cover 10K in an hour. I don't even think I could run that fast. Well, actually I could, but not with a climb up a ski hill. That was a super easy climb up the hill. I could lie and say it's because I've got super powerful legs, but it would be a lie. It's because Glen Eden is a wean compared to some of the bigger ski hills up in the Beaver Valley and Blue Mountain. Plus my pack isn't as heavy because it's light on food and I'm stronger. But mostly it's a wean of a hill. Maybe it's story time. I have mountain biked these trails at Kelso more than any other place I've ever mountain biked. I've ridden all of the trails up here. And within the first couple months of knowing Ryan, we came mountain biking up here. It's also very busy. So we came up here and I crashed pretty hard. I was hitting a rock section and I went to go unclip my foot from my clipless pedals. Why do they call them clipless if they're clips? Anyway, I couldn't get my foot out in time. It got stuck and I fell over onto the rocks and I knocked the wind out of myself and couldn't breathe. I broke 2 ribs and fractured my transverse process. You can Google that, but it's a small bone, kind of your pelvis. I'm dodging cyclists. Not necessarily in your pelvis, but in your back, kind of near your tailbone, but higher. And it's a little bone that sticks out to the side. So I was destroyed. I was absolutely destroyed. That took months and months to heal, and it was a very long time after that I went to get some sort of x-ray or scan, and somebody said, "Do you realize that you have these 3 broken bones?" I'm like, "Oh, so that's what happened that day I crashed my mountain bike." Jeez. I knew I fractured ribs, but like, what do you do for fractured ribs? You really don't do anything for them. So I just didn't know how many I fractured. I broke 3 bones that day and I felt like an idiot. Here I am, one of my first dates with Ryan, and I'm smashing myself to pieces. To the spot I was trying to get to. First of all, we have this lovely stream, and over there is my pet, and up in the hills is Rattlesnake Point. The hills over that way is Crawford Lake. I eyed this spot when I came through here on my training hike, one of them. Mind you, the grass was not tall at the time. And here's my flattened down spot. And I know what you're thinking. You're gonna have a wet tent in the morning. I absolutely am gonna have a wet tent in the morning. That's what happens when you set up amongst all this green stuff. It's also supposed to rain pretty much all night long. So it's gonna be wet anyway, and tomorrow I am less than 40k from my parents' house. So I just have to pack up and hike 40k to my parents' house, and I can dry my quilt in my tent if I feel like it, because from my parents' house to my house is another 40k. So that's 2 nights where I won't be sleeping in my tent. I don't care. I'm in such a good mood that I can't even quite express it. I was so excited to see friends today. I'm excited to be in my home section. I am just having a good day, and I already cleared my watch, but I think it was about 30k. Sorry, 38k. So I am ready to set my tent up, and I'm really fucking hungry, so I gotta get cooking.